artistry in the fabled Big Apple Circus. Big Apple Circus returns to Atlanta February 23rd through March 5th. Call Ticketmaster today.
Hey, welcome back to Peachtree Morning. Jesse Brown is the president of Chicago-based Crystal Investment Management. The Wall Street Journal calls him the true Chicago bull of the stock market. Described as the man taking Wall Street to Main Street, Dr. Brown is regarded as the little guy's guide to the American dream of prosperity. His new book is entitled Investing in the Dream, and Jesse Brown now joins us here on Peachtree Morning. Dr. Brown, thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, tell us how we get started in investing and making sure that we are financially secure when we get to the end of our working days.
You know, often I'm asked the question when I'm doing seminars, what is your most important bill? And, you know, the answers I get are just amazing. Usually the number one answer is housing. But you know something, your most important bill is yourself. If you ever taken an airline trip, the flight attendant says in case of emergency and the oxygen mask comes down, cover yourself first. Well, that's what you have to do in terms of your financial security as well. More people spend time planning their summer vacation than they do on planning their financial future. And that's why I wrote the book, Investing in the Dream, because too many people don't realize that the true American dream is getting a good education, getting a good job, and then being able to retire comfortably. Unfortunately, that whole business about retiring comfortably is very difficult to do. So what I tell people more often than not is they have to prepare for the future, because guess what? There's nothing like growing old, sick, and being broke.
No doubt about that. Now, why is it that people are reticent to, think about planning for the future? Is it kind of like the chocolate cake and broccoli thing? You like to eat chocolate cake, you don't like to eat broccoli, but the broccoli is good for you.
Well, most people don't think about investing because they think they're going to live forever. And you know something? The government tells us almost each and every day that there's something wrong with the entitlement system that we have here in the United States. You know what I mean? Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, you know, all those programs that we've kind of gotten used to, well, they're just not going to be around all the time. So that's why it's important that we invest. Now, take for instance, like your co-host here. She's about 25 years old.
Yeah. If
she would just take $50 a month and put that away until age 65, well, she would have put away $24,000. That $24,000 placed into the stock market, guess what? It would turn into over $600,000 with an assumed rate of return of about 12%. People don't realize that the key to success in the investment marketplace is to buy low and sell high. But unfortunately, not knowing when the low is, people have to systematically invest on a consistent basis over a period of time. And that's why I'm here in Atlanta to talk to her, you, all my friends about investing in the dream of a retirement. And that's why I'm going to be at the Madu bookstore on Saturday at 2 o'clock and at Chapter 11 bookstore this evening at 6 o'clock to sign my book and tell more people about wealth building strategies here in America.
Aren't people afraid of the stock market? Intimidated by it is perhaps the word I should use. And should they be intimidated by it? Is it as complicated as it seems when they open up the paper and they see the abbreviations and the list of numbers and they're like, no way, no how. That's calculus to me.
You know, it's amazing that you would say that, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, Investing in the Dream, because we try to demystify this whole stock market thing. Actually, it's pretty simple. The stock market is nothing more than a grocery market full of American companies. There are all the names that you know, Kraft and Nike and all the familiar names, but what it is America in microcosm. In other words, it talks about the progress of this country. And you know, to be afraid of it is really to misunderstand the progress that we have here in America. One of the things that I tell people quite often, and everybody seems to be so complain about one thing or another, but you know, as you're complaining and going out the door, you watch out, there's a whole bunch of people rushing into this country. I'm telling you, they're coming by planes, boats, canoes, because the opportunities in this country are absolutely phenomenal. And it's almost a sin, if you will, to not take advantage of the good things that we have here in this country. Some people think it's somehow virtuous to be poor. Well, let me tell you, there's no beatitude that says it's blessed to be poor. No matter what your situation is, money makes it a whole lot better. That's why I wrote the book, Investing in the Dream. That's why I think it's so important that we participate in the American economy. Matter of fact, the stock market has been doing so well recently, it's almost amazing that people who have jobs don't participate in their 401k or their retirement savings program. I talk about that in the book.
That's the least you could do.
That's the very least you could do. So if you have a job, you need to go to your human resources director right after this program. Stay tuned right now, but right
exactly. At 11 o'clock.
right after this program, and go to your human resources department and sign up for your 401k savings program. Because the money that you put in there, guess what? You don't pay taxes on it until you take it out. It's deferred compensation. And my God, it can add up so well. And we go into that wealth building strategy as well as other tax saving and tax advantage strategies in my book.
Once again, the name of the book is Investing in the Dream, Personal Wealth Building Strategies for African Americans in Search of Financial Freedom, but it applies to everybody. And Jesse Brown will be signing copies of the book tonight at 6 o'clock at Chapter 11 discount bookstores located in the Ansley Mall, and then again tomorrow at Madu Books in the Greenbrier Mall starting at 2 o'clock. And Dr. Brown, thanks for the great advice.
Thank you.
I'm going to put it to work at 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
He's known for white-knuckle thrill rides like Ronin and Black Sunday. Now John Frankenheimer is back in the director's chair for Reindeer Games. We'll talk with him coming up next. And pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, but you'll definitely want to see his world-class collection of Wizard of Oz memorabilia. More Peachtree Morning right after this.
Furnishings for Peachtree Morning, provided by Haverty's. Haverty's makes it home.
I got a taste for cookies.
Oh, everybody, to the fridge. Let's bake. Break, break, break. Break and bake. Bake your cookies.
New Nestle Toll House refrigerated cookie dough. Like magic, squares bake into round cookies with rich Toll House morsels just...
Break and bake. Toll House cookies.
Uh-oh, I'm breakdancing.
Nestle Toll House, now available in cookies and brownies too.
Because you work for yourself now. Because you're out on your own. Because you've given up company benefits to work at home. That doesn't mean you have to pay a lot for health coverage. Call Kaiser Permanente and we'll show you how to get quality medical care for a lot less than you'd expect. You shouldn't have to take chances with the health of you and your loved ones. That's why we created personal plans. Prices start at $68 a month. Benefits include doctor visits as low as $10, hospitalization, preventive care, and prescription coverage. With a plan that puts patient care in the hands of doctors, not insurance administrators. Call this number now for your free information kit to get the coverage you can't do without at a price you can afford. Call today because you deserve a health plan that works as hard as you do. Kaiser Permanente, in the hands of doctors.
For 45 years, Champion has manufactured and installed some of the finest patio rooms in America. Champion patio rooms add beauty, style, and value to your home. They combine indoor comfort with outdoor enjoyment. 45 years of quality, 45 years of service, 45 years of trust. Call 454-7323. Champion Windows, Siding, and Patio Rooms, helping to make your house just a little more like home.
And welcome back to Peachtree Morning. John Frankenheimer is one of the most prolific directors in America. Now, if his name doesn't ring a bell with you, maybe his films will. How about The Manchurian Candidate, Ronin, 52 Pickup, Andersonville, The Birdman of Alcatraz, 7 Days in May, and so many, many more. His latest film is Reindeer Games. It continues in his tradition of mystery, twists, and some action, and it stars some of Hollywood's most recognizable faces.
Yes! Get up. Yeah. Yeah. God is good.
And we want to welcome to Peachtree Morning the esteemed director of Reindeer Games, John Frankenheimer. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you, Carmen.
I've been a great admirer of yours for quite some time. I mean, all of your films have been so fantastic. My first memory is The Manchurian Candidate, which was just an incredible film. And then now you've moved into the new millennium, so to speak, with Reindeer Games. What attracted you particularly to this script?
Well, more or less the same thing that attracted me to Manchurian Candidate. I mean, I thought that Reindeer Games was a wonderful script. I thought it was very smart. And I thought it was terribly well written, and I loved the characters, and I loved the dialogue, and I liked some of the humor.
It is a little twisted humor, but it's dark humor, if you will.
Well, that's the kind of humor I do.
Yeah. Now, the characters are so, most of them are so seedy, but you still feel an affinity for the main character, Rudy, played by Ben Affleck, even though he is down on his luck and having such the most difficult time in life. All he wants to do is get out of prison and have a hot meal, spend some time with his family, have some pecan pie and a cup of hot chocolate,
Right.
But he really gets into hot water.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Okay.
But you kind of said it all right there. Yeah. But I think that the Ben Affleck character, I really like the Ben Affleck character. I think he's funny, and I think he's charming, and as a matter of fact, that's the reason we cast him, because I wanted really an everyman for that role. I wanted kind of a, what can I tell you, kind of a, for lack of a better analogy, a young James Stewart. And I wanted somebody to appeal to women, and I wanted somebody